The Trump administration just announced that they will aggressively revoke visas for Chinese students. Now, if you're like me, when you heard this headline, you wondered, what is going on here? Did Trump just wake up one day and decide he hates Chinese students? Well, the 61-word official announcement from the Secretary of State wasn't helpful. Much of the media wasn't helpful either. New York Times lists all of the arguments against Trump's action, but none of the arguments for it. So why is Trump doing this? Well, here's what I found. In 2017, China passed the National Intelligence Law. It states any organization or citizen shall support, assist, and cooperate with the state intelligence work in accordance with the law. This means that any Chinese citizen, including one doing research at American universities, can be forced to give information to the Chinese government. Now, you might be wondering, does anything like this actually happen? Check this out. In 2019, a Chinese medical student at a Harvard-affiliated medical center was arrested for attempting to smuggle 21 vials of biological research to China. In 2021, the former chair of Harvard's chemistry department was arrested for lying about his involvement with China's 1,000 Talents Plan and failing to report income received from Chinese institutions. In the early 2000s, a Chinese PhD student at Duke accessed a lab working on invisibility cloak technology. And then he reproduced a near identical version in China, and now he's a billionaire and known as China's Elon Musk. So yeah, it does happen. We had 277,000 Chinese students studying in America last year. Less than 25% of Chinese grad students intend to immigrate to the United States post-graduation. Now, the vast majority of these students probably just want to get a great education and have a good life, not overthrow America. But what's the bigger concern? Well, at best, Chinese students are coming to America, doing advanced research with American taxpayer money, and then can be forced to give that information to Chinese intelligence agencies. At worst, Chinese spies are being sent by the Chinese Communist Party to America to steal research. Now, in either case, this probably only applies to a small minority of Chinese students. And you might not buy either argument at all, but at least you know what the arguments are rather than just getting one side of the story. But here's the thing. I had to look through several articles and do a deep dive just to understand why Trump is doing this. But who has the time for that? And while the Trump administration is giving 61-word announcements with no rationale for their actions, the mainstream media is filling in the gap with the worst possible interpretation. And this is the Achilles heel of a Trump administration. So often, they're trying to do the right thing, but with the wrong messaging. Many people will have just seen the headline, seen no further justification, assumed this is just racism, and moved on. Many innocent Chinese students think they're just getting attacked for no reason and don't know what their own government is doing. And that's a real shame. What leaders do matters, but how they talk about it matters too. And when a public servant does something, the public should always be able to easily understand why. But one thing we, the people, can do is try to seek out both sides of the argument, because the media feeds on bias. And if you don't know the arguments against your bias, the media will use your bias against you.